Who are you really? Beyond the equipment and the uniform is a psychological resource most firefighters never tap into. Your identity isn't just a job title. It's a powerful mental framework to reshape any challenge that life throws at you. Welcome, hotshots, to Firepower X. This is a place where we help you stay one step ahead of stress as a firefighter. My name is Jess. I am a former firefighter and neuro-linguistic programming master practitioner, which is a fancy way for saying I'm a personal trainer for your mind. And I want to be your secret weapon to turn into an absolute beast at work and at home. Today, we're going to be talking about tapping into your identity. So many people don't do this. They don't take the time for personal development as a firefighter. We get in, we learn all the skills, but then we let our minds go by the wayside. And that is really what we need to address, is what are we doing with our minds? What habits do we have? Most of us go through life playing different roles at different points. The victim, the hero, the bad guy, the lucky person. We play all these roles and we're constantly role shifting. They act a certain way within certain parameters. They behave predictably. In order to become super resilient, what we have to do is bring back our hero identity. Now, I want to remind you, you are an expert at this. You go to work, you put on the duty shirt or the bunker gear, and you handle problems with calm, cool detachment, friend. You follow your SOPs. You have a team behind you. You don't get emotionally attached to the problems that you're solving day in and day out. But then, oh no, what happens? The minute something ruffles us in our personal life, we slip into victim mode. That's what I did. That's what many other people did. And then we suffer behind closed doors. We suffer. Our little inner critic is telling us all these sad stories. That's our thought stream of thoughts that we have. It's going off about, I'm never going to recover. This is horrible, blah, 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 right? All that garbage that we think in our minds. We automatically believe it. We believe the voice in our head. We believe what it's telling us. We talk ourselves into really scary points of view. What we need to do is add one of the other identities to the mix. Now, I know this works because I did it for myself. I left the fire service prematurely. It wasn't in my plans. After 8 years of service, I left the line and I didn't come back because I went to a bad interview. The next 10 years, I went through a dark night of the soul where I told myself a lot of victim stories. It was just a constant stream of victim garbage. And you know what I did? I started introducing the hero. I brought the hero into the situation because I recognized I did this all the time on the line as a firefighter. Why can't I do it for myself? Why can't I do it for myself? And in doing that, it changed the way I approached my thoughts. And in changing the way I approached my thoughts, it changed my habits and my entire life shifted. Now I teach this stuff. This is how we change ourselves. We change the habits that are happening up here. So how do we do this in a practical sense? Jess, how do I do this? Okay, I'm ready to tell you. So whenever something happens in our life, it catches our attention, something bad happens, we're having a big reaction to it, we go into a victim story. Our little inner narrator's like, oh man, this isn't going to work out. This is going to be horrible. I can't believe this is happening. Just a lot of sad narrative of pessimistic, negative, sometimes unrelenting, just mental garbage, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't shut up. Typically, what we do is we take the bait, we listen to it, we let that voice talk us into, yeah, you're right, I really am the victim in this situation. You're right, I really am. And then we act from that. That's what we typically do. Something catches our attention, we tell the story, our behaviors follow suit. We try to get back what's ours, what we've lost. We fight against whatever the situation is and try to get justice or make it right. What we want to do in these situations instead is introduce one of these other two identities, one of which you are expert at. Let's talk about the hero first. The hero persona is exactly what you do on scene. Think about how you interact with a victim on scene. You care for them. You're there. You're not emotionally attached. You show them some empathy. You give them kind words. You're like, you know what? We're going to help you out right now. We're going to get you out of this. It's going to be okay. You're going to figure this out. It may suck, but we're here now. We're taking care of the problem. We're going to figure it out head on. That very kind of parental, reassuring, strong, unattached identity. That's what you do. Think about exactly how you interact with victims on scene, because these identities are also on scene on all the calls that you run, whether they're a structure fire, medical, vehicle accident, whatever. The victim's the person you're treating, you are the hero, and then the chief, usually a battalion chief or a captain or just someone who is observing the scene. So let's talk about the chief identity. This person is more big picture thinking. They're watching the entire thing. They're more of a witness. They are more of a witness. This is also an identity you can leverage. You know the role of the chief on scene. They're the incident command. They're facilitating all the parts. They are watching. So you can be either of these. You can add either of these to your experience. Your thought stream isn't you. It may feel like you. It's a part of you. It's not the entirety of you. It's just a voice many of us have in our head that we talk ourselves in and out of stuff all day long. There is a part of you in that experience that is listening to the thoughts. Who is that part of you? I call it the witness. So the witness is just listening to the thought streams. The witness can just witness like the chief, or the witness can interject and be like, well, I don't know if I believe that, but sure. The witness can also respond to that voice. So when we go into some traumatic story, some victim story, something's going wrong in my life, that's the cue, the negative reaction that we feel. That's the cue that we got to introduce another identity, one of these two. The chief is more of the witness. The hero is more hands-on, is adding that kind of parental, firm, strong. It's going to be okay. It may suck. We're going to figure this out. We're actually talking back to the victim. So your inner voice starts. It starts going into a sad story. Oh, poor me. It's never going to work out. This is horrible. I don't know if I can do this. Instead of taking the bait like we normally do, we acknowledge, we visualize, we meditate on, we just add the presence of the hero. So the hero is in our head with us. The hero is just listening. Okay, yeah, that may be really hard. It's going to be a really hard situation, but we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. We always do, right? Just like we do on scene. We always figure it out. Or the chief. Add the chief. The chief just kind of listens. He's like, okay, And what you're going to find by doing that, by introducing an extra identity to the victim that's already there, to your little sad victim, see them like you would see a person on scene. See them as this really wounded, scared, fearful, anxious. They're just having this experience of loss or pain. They're wounded. They're hurt. They're scared. They don't know what to do. You could see it as a younger version of yourself. And you are stepping in and adding a hero or a chief presence to the experience. And what happens is the victim burns itself out. The victim, after a few minutes of you not taking the bait and believing everything the victim says and adopting that perspective, you identifying as a hero or the chief, adding that identity to the experience of just holding space, just being present. That's more of what the chief does, or adding those reassuring words of like, it's going to be okay, or it's going to suck. We're going to find our way out of this. The victim peters out. The victim peters out. It gets bored and it moves on. Your thoughts, you'll find, will move on to something else. And in doing this, in practicing this, you start to recognize a divide between your victim self and your hero self. You start to recognize when you're in each role. And that's what we want to do. We don't want to just subconsciously slip into these. You're going to acknowledge and recognize, okay, I'm just in a role. This isn't who I am, because that's what happens. We forget we're just playing a character. We forget we're just playing a role. We forget that the potential of the situation is much bigger. We don't ever know how it's ever going to work out. Like, maybe it's going to work out for the best. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Maybe something good is going to come out of this. Maybe this is going to make me a better person. We automatically assume the wildest worst case scenario and then act it out. This is how we do it. What we're doing naturally at work, add it to our personal life, add it to our experience, where we never fully go into full victim mode, because that's where we lose ourselves. And then we take very drastic measures to alleviate that feeling. The reactions that come up when you really believe you're the victim, they're painful, they're uncomfortable. If we don't want to do that, we can add the hero. A good mantra, instead of these mantras that have been thrown around the fire service of break the stigma and it's okay to not be okay. Oh, those don't work. They don't work. A better one is hero at work, hero at home. Hero at work, hero at home. Remind yourself that you do this for other people on shift all the time. You have to do it for yourself. Instead of losing yourself to victimhood when things in your life go bad, use the identity you have refined and polished, you are an expert at work. Bring that identity into your experience. When things go to hell in your life, a small part of you is always in hero mode or chief mode. Again, adopt it to whatever best fits your personality. But part of you is always in control, watching, paying attention, and not just getting swept away by whatever victim feeds you. So give us a like or a subscribe if this content was helpful for you. And if you want one-on-one coaching, if you want a community, if you want to learn more content like this, come check us out at firepowerx.com. We talk about stuff like this all the time, and we leverage it to become our best selves as fire service professionals. We'd love to see you there. Details below in the description box. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.